Hello everybody and welcome to webinar number 2 in our Moxi series. Today's session is called Using Present for Buyer and Seller CMAs and yet so much more. So in our first webinar series, we talked a lot about keeping in touch with your customers, using Moxi daily to stay in touch with those contacts, getting your contacts cleaned up, making sure that you have all your past customers in there. And today I want to show you how to use the Present tool to be able to stay in touch with those contacts and or create new opportunities for you as well. So Moxi has lots of layers to it. Just like, again, when you go to the gym, you can lift weights, you can do treadmill, you can do all these cool things. But the idea is that you want to be able to use them to your best of your ability and be able to hopefully build muscles in the right areas and go to the gym and enjoy it. So today's class, we're going to cover a couple things. The first thing that we're going to do is how to create a killer seller presentation so that when you walk into the listing appointment, you win it every time. Because gosh, don't we all want to do that? The second part of today's webinar is going to be taking a buyer on a tour. So let's say you're going out on a buyer's tour or a property preview and you're going to see different properties. Wouldn't it be great instead of printing out all of the flyers, you could actually do it right on their phone? So I'm going to show you the cool way to do that today. I'm going to show you how to go above and beyond at an open house. I know all of you do open houses and you sit at them and you have this online store ability right through Moxi, and I want to show you how to utilize that. And then we're going to end today's class with using Moxi to market your listings. So as you get new listings and you have opportunities, we want to use the system to our advantage to sell those listings. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So as I said, the first thing that we want to do today is we want to use Moxi Works to help create a killer seller presentation. Now, today, this does not replace necessarily Cloud CMA or some of the other CMA programs that you may be using, but we do hope that this will one day take over the CMA creator for you. And the reason for that is because literally this is a sharper, nicer, more advanced tool that can actually set you apart from the competition. So today we're going to pretend like we are dealing with a seller. Her name is Sally Seller accordingly. So what we want to do is we want to create a presentation to take on our listing appointment with us. So just as an aside, yesterday I would have put Sally into my Engage account, so that way she is now a seller prospect. And today what I'm going in is I'm creating this presentation to take with me to the listing presentation, but also so that I can send it to her in advance. And also because it's a live feed from the MLS, it'll update on a regular basis with current information. So what we're going to do is hit Create New. Makes sense, right? In this case, we are going ahead and creating a seller presentation, something that I can take on my listing appointment. I hit Seller and I hit Continue. It's going to go ahead and give you default programs or templates essentially. You're just going to go ahead and usually pick the top one, which is our default seller template. And it has 16 pages in the presentation already defaulted in it. If you didn't want all 16 pages and you wanted to pick which pages you wanted, you could hit No Templates, and I'll show you where you'll add pages later. So default will give you what we default to as a company. No Template will go ahead and allow you just to pick which pages you specifically want. Today I'm going to go ahead and hit Default just so you can see which 16 pages are automatically included, and hit Continue. At this point in time, you'll put who the presentation is being prepared for. So in this case, I said earlier, it's Sally Seller, and I'll hit Create. What this is doing now is it's opening up essentially the file for Sally Seller to create the presentation. As you can see up across the top, it's going to ask me for subject property information. It's going to go ahead and search for similar properties. It's going to result to me a group of listings or listings that I can compare to. It's going to allow me to put together a listing estimate for this particular property. And then what it's going to do is it's going to output all of that information into pages of a presentation that I can then give to my customer. So that is the premise, and that is the purpose of Present, is to take you through that process to be able to put together a beautiful presentation for a customer. So, prepared for a Sally seller. The good news is Sally has had her home listed previously, not with me, but with somebody else. So what I'm going to do is I found the old MLS number in the MLS, and I'm going to go ahead and enter it in and hit copy. The great thing about this tool is it's going to bring in all of the information from that old MLS listing directly into Moxi for me. It searches directly to the MLS for that data. The great thing is I can 100% come in here and edit any of the information. So if I know that the property was recently updated with an extra bedroom, I could change that. If I know that the lot size, they bought the lot next door and it's expanded, I could go in and add that here. So all of this information at this point in time is 100% changeable, or you could leave it just as it is. So this is all the subject property information. It also allows me to upload a photo of the property, which will go on the cover of the presentation. So you could either go take a picture of the property, or maybe you just want to go ahead and use a generic photo, or in my case, this is my hint, my private home. I have a picture, or you could go snap a picture with your phone, obviously, and use it that way. So there's your picture. All right. And you can also replace it with an MLS photo. So any of the photos that were previously in MLS would be used here. Now remember, those photos are not usable for anything other than using it for comparative market analysis. But that's the great thing, is anything that was stored in MLS will come through at that point in time. Ironically, if you go back and look at my old listing, the photos are not very good, of course. So there you go. Okay, so I go through here, I can go ahead and add features, I can change the remarks, I can take the remarks out, I can do whatever I want with this listing at this point. The price and sale will obviously bring back any of the sold information, so I know that what it sold for previously and when it sold. So I'll go ahead and hit continue. So that's all about the current subject property. I know I don't need to tell you guys this because you've done CMAs like crazy, and I'm not here to tell you how to do a CMA or do a great CMA. I'm just here to show you the tool, really. But the great thing about the tool is that it can be used in a variety of different ways. You can go ahead and find similar listings by using the distance tool, status, price, date listed, bedrooms, square footage. So there's a variety of ways to sort these 97 listings that were brought back. But there's also great ways to filter the data. So you'll come over here to the right-hand side of the page, click filter, and this will actually allow you to go in and say, only give me back listings that are similar in nature to this particular property. I can go in and I can change any of this information. So maybe max bedrooms, I really only want to compare this to 4 bedrooms, not 5. I really want to make sure that I only compare it to 3-bathroom homes, not 4. The square foot max I actually want to put in is only 3,200. So you can come in and customize the data for which you want to pull back. I also, because this home was built in 2010, I actually want to go ahead and only look at homes that were built in 1998 and beyond. So that way I'm getting a better comparison or a better product set. At this point, I don't want to show any of the active listings. I only want to show sold listings, and I also want to show pending listings. I'm actually going to take out anything that was expired, canceled, contingent, sale, fail, or other. Now again, you can leave all of these in. I'm just taking them out to show you that this is 100% customizable. And if you also, in some cases, wanted to compare it to a condo or a townhome, you could obviously come in here and choose multiple property types as well. You know how to do CMAs, so I'm not going to tell you exactly how to pull the CMA data. I just want to show you the features today. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and hit search, and it's going to go ahead and narrow down. And at this point, I've narrowed it down to 23 listings. I could continue to narrow this down even further if I wanted to go ahead and turn on a radius. So I've clicked radius, and I can change this to 0, 0.25, 1 mile, whatever it may be. So I'm going to go ahead and narrow this down to 1 mile. That's brought me down to 10 listings now. I could also just do it by boundary. I could literally draw, which this is really cool. I know that Greyhawk Landing, which is where this home is located, happens to go from Upper Manatee, here, on, there we go. There we go. Goes from here. The computer will not cooperate with me. Sorry, guys. There we go. I know that this is the direct area that I want. Actually, I don't want that because that's going to be Mill Creek. I want to go right to about there. That will give me 7 listings now, specifically in the neighborhood that I'm in. Of course, now I could also go a little bit this way if I wanted to, and that increases it. It doesn't increase, it doesn't change it. But the point is that this gives me the flexibility to either look at it by radius, look at it by boundary, draw in the areas, or I could just look by schools. So if I wanted to just look at homes that have public or private schools attached to them, that gives me that flexibility as well. I can do a drive time search. I can search by specific MLS numbers, which I'm going to show you how to do that for a different type of search later. Or I could also look within an MLS area. So the flexibility here is fantastic. So once I have figured out that, yep, these are the 7 listings that I want to show in my CMA, I hit select all, and it'll go ahead and include those listings in my CMA. If I did that and went, oh, wait, no, wait, I don't want this particular 1, 2, 4, 3, 6 nature view, I just uncheck it, and it won't include it now in my results. So very flexible and very easy to use. So at this point, I've selected the 6 out of 7 listings that I want into my estimate, and I'll go ahead and hit continue. What this is now doing is showing me the listings that I have selected for my CMA. The cool thing is that if I wanted to maybe reorder these in a specific order or put them in a different organization, I can either order it by, and it gives me price, sold, active, custom, whatever I want. If I hit custom sort order, what's really cool is now I can easily move this around by literally just dragging and dropping. And it's going to go ahead and move the listings around to my preferred area. At this point, you also have some ability to do some customization of the listing. So if you wanted to add an adjustment, so this petrol, let's say that you know that this is pending and you know for a fact that a furniture package was put into it. You could add adjustments to this. You can go ahead and add and edit remarks. You can see the listing details at this point. So this is all areas where you can go ahead and customize this CMA to the fullest. I'm not going to go through all of that today just because I want to save some time, but anywhere where you see a button, click it, look at it, play with it. The cool thing is you cannot break this tool. It's 100% just a tool for you to use to be able to show and display current information. So at this point, I'm going to pretend that these are in fact the listings that I want to show in my CMA. So, and I put them into my custom sort order. And it's also given me a really cool custom listing summary over here. I could go and view the listings on the map if I just wanted to confirm them one more time, or I could also add a custom listing. If I know a pocket listing was sold that didn't ever make the MLS, and I wanted to make sure I added that in, you could add a custom listing in, and that will allow you to put that one in that wasn't in the MLS. At this point in time, I'm going to say it looks fantastic, and I'm going to hit continue. The next part is going to give you an opportunity to put in estimated pricing and estimated net proceeds. Again, this is a totally customizable area, and you don't have to include it. I'm going to show you what I mean by that in the pages section. But this, at this point in time, gives you some pricing stats. It's going to give you, in their estimation, using their tool, the listing summary. What's the low, what's the high, what's the average, and it's going to go ahead and kind of summarize that for you. And then it's going to allow you over here in the estimated pricing section to put in what you believe is the estimated price. What's the min, what's the max, and then you can put in different remarks. Things that you want your seller to think about, things that you want to point out to them during that process. This is a great area for you because they're going to be able to come back to this at any given time because this is a live and living presentation. And when this sale that was currently pending goes closed, it'll automatically go from this pending category into sold. That's the great thing about this tool, is that when you send them the electronic brochure or the electronic presentation, it'll update in real time with any of that closed data information. Okay, at this point in time, I want to go ahead and put in what I believe to be the estimation. God, I wish my property could sell for that. I'm going to go ahead and put in some remarks. Looking forward to discussing this price estimate with you. I made a mistake with those words on purpose because I wanted to show you that it does do spell check. Make sure that you use it. And then you hit continue. Okay, at this point in time, we've gotten to the pages. So subject property is done. Searching for properties is done. Listings is done. My estimate is done. Now I need to pick the pages that I want to put into the presentation to show my customer. If you remember, we picked the default presentation earlier, which went ahead and put in 16 pages into the presentation for us. Property summary, a map, the listing overview, a side-by-side comparison sheet, a status comparison, the listing averages, price and days on market, price and size, estimate comparison, a pricing analysis, the net proceeds, of course, a profile of you, your agent profile, and then we have added in some pages that will help you to explain why choosing Michael Saunders & Company is a good choice, our values as a company, and then also a little bit of a message about our international affiliation with Mayfair so that you can help explain how we help sell their home internationally. Now, if you think, wow, that's a lot of pages, and I don't want to take my customer through 17 or 16 pages right now, this is where you can customize it. So right now, all 17 pages would be included. Let's say at this point in time, you really just want the property summary. You actually want to take out the listing location map. You don't think it's really necessary. You would come over here, and you would just hit remove. The side-by-side comparisons, great information, but maybe the status comparisons right now you don't really want, so you can hit remove. As I said earlier, maybe it's too early, or you want to hold back the estimate comparison until you actually have the meeting. So you could come here and hit estimate comparison. It's going to go ahead and give you what the estimate comparisons are. But if you don't want to include that today because you only want to include it day of meeting, you would hit remove, and it would remove it from today's presentation. The great thing is you can always go back and add it back by hitting add page, add from library, and then you'll see here that here are all the same pages. And if I just wanted to add back that estimate comparison, I'll hit add, and voila, it'll be back in my pages. So never fear, if you get rid of a page, you can always add it back. When you send the presentation today in advance of your listing presentation, you might only want to show a couple pages. When you go actually to the appointment, you may want to show all the pages. That is the flexibility of this system, because once you've created this presentation, it is saved, and you can go in and change it, edit it, update it, do whatever you want at any given time. The other cool thing is you can also add your own custom page. So if I click add page and I hit create new, I can go ahead and build a page from scratch with anything that I might want. I showed you this in the last presentation, if you recall, because what we did is we created that one where we had a video right here, we had a message to the customer, and we had some text created at the top. You could easily do that, and it would be a fantastic additional page that you've created on your own. You could also upload pages, such as a brochure that maybe Michael Saunders' marketing team created for you, because you can upload a PDF. You could also upload any type of other data or PDFs that you may have printed off for that property itself. There's a ton of flexibility with this program. Last but not least is a cover page, or what we like to call a template option. So when you go ahead and see this cover page right here and you click on the little wrench, which basically means options, it is actually going to give you the option to show a couple different things. First of all, it says agent photo and info. Do you want to show it? Right now it's showing, so you would keep that. Property photo. You'll notice if I take it away, it's going to take the property photo out and leave it blank. I'm going to keep it on. I could also take the prepared for out. So if I didn't want this Sally seller to show up, I could take that out. And if I didn't want the address to show, I could also take that out. So these are some flexibilities for the cover display. The other great thing is you also have some PDF. So this is going to print off both, or it's going to be presented both as an online presentation as well as a PDF presentation. At this point, I can actually choose from a variety of cover options. This is called the Rainier. This is called the Pike. This is called the Denny. This is called the Cherry. And this is the Yesler. So there's a variety of 5 different templates that you can choose from. It'll automatically put the Michael Saunders logo in there. It's going to automatically put the picture of the house in there that we uploaded. And it's going to go ahead and put your photo and contact information on the cover of that presentation. I'm going to go ahead and just stick with the Rainier because it's my favorite. And I'm going to go ahead and close out of that little preferences area. And at this point in time, my presentation is ready. I've customized the pages. Oh, let me show you one other tool. Let's just say you want our Why Choose Michael Saunders and Company to be first. The great thing about this tool is it's really easy to move pages by literally clicking, dragging, and moving. So now what it's done is it's put my Why Choose Michael Saunders and Company page second in the order as opposed to last. So it makes it really easy to change things around as you go. Okay, so that's my presentation. It is ready to send to my customer. So what do? I'm going to go back to the home screen, and there's my presentation. It's going to default and put your latest and greatest presentation first. And at this point in time, what I can do is I can go ahead and click the 3 little buttons, and I can hit email. I'll be able to email that to my customer by putting in their name, a subject line, a greeting, a message. I'll hit send, and what it'll do is it'll send the presentation today as an online presentation. If I say to send it as a PDF in portrait or send it as a PDF in landscape, it's literally going to send it as a printable PDF or a printable PDF in either a portrait view or a landscape view. That would be great for your customers who you know are going to 100% want to print this and only print this. The value of Moxi is that this presentation looks amazing on a computer, on an iPad, on a telephone. So if you have customers who are more tech savvy and wouldn't necessarily want to kill a tree, then you'd want to just send this as a presentation as it is today. So those choices are there for you. And the great thing is you can send both. So you can send it as a PDF in landscape and also send it as a presentation. This will then give them the flexibility of seeing it as an online presentation, but also the flexibility of printing it as a landscape PDF. Okay, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to send this off to somebody right now. But what will happen is I'll get a beautiful email, as Sally Seller, I should say, would get a beautiful email. And when Sally Seller clicks on the presentation, this is what she's going to get and open. Beautiful picture of her house, information from me, or from you as the agent. And as she scrolls through this, it's great information about the property. Play around with this, use it. Also, look at it on the phone versus the computer. The phone application is amazing, and I point that out because as you were talking with your customer, they literally could be pulling this up on their phone or their iPad to look at the information that you're telling them over the phone. It's super interactive, it's really easy to use, and the great thing is like, let's say I love this 228 Dove Trail, I want to know more information about the comparable because it's totally right in line with my type of home. When I click on it, it'll bring up the details about that property for me as the seller, and now I can really truly get a good look at the listing itself. So this is just a great way to use the presentation for your sellers. When you're at the actual sales presentation, you could bring your laptop, your iPad with you, and you could actually walk your customer through the presentation in this format. Or as I said earlier, you could print it as a PDF and bring it with you in a printed format for your customer. The only disadvantage to that, and what I would probably do is do both, is if you send them the online version, it's going to be updated with all of that current MLS information in real time, which is very helpful for them. Okay, the rest of today, because I just showed you really the tool and how specific it is, I'm going to give you some other ideas, because seller CMAs are a dime a dozen. I know you guys do them all day long. So what else is this present tool going to be useful for? Well, here's some other examples. I would love to use the present tool for a buyer tour. So imagine that you're going to go meet with a buyer this week. We're going to go on a presentation together, and we're going to go see 4 properties. I want to be able to present to them the information that they're going to want to know about these properties in real time as reviewing them. So what I want to do is pick no template, because I actually only want like 2 pages. So instead of picking all 15 pages, I'm going to tell it which pages to put into my presentation. So I'm going to hit no template. Prepared for, I'm going to actually take out L. Becker. He's in my database, and he and I are going to go look for homes together. And specifically, I have found 4 properties that I want to take him on a tour of. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick one of those properties. So I'm going to pick A4179926. And I'm going to import that information as my subject property. You could actually skip this if you wanted to and just go right to the listings page. Or you could use this as your kind of subject property to say, okay, this is the one property that we're going to compare all others against. It's really up to you for your buyer tour. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hit continue. And remember, if you change anything on any of these screens, it only changes it in this system, never directly to MLS. So if you added in comments or if you changed some sort of information, it only changes it in the Moxi report to your customer, not directly back to MLS. Okay, so at this point, this is my subject property. This is the one that we're going to compare 3 other properties to that we're going to look at. The great thing is I can click this MLS number, and at this point I can put in a comma, and then I can enter my other MLS numbers that I want to put into this buyer tour that we're going to go on this week. Okay, oops, fat fingers. Okay, I have a feeling this one's too long. 4405592. Okay, good. So I'm going to hit search. And what it's done is it's gone ahead and searched in the MLS for me the 4 listings that I've put in. Here they are. And I do want to include those 4, so I'm going to select all into my buyer tour. At this point, I'm going to go ahead, hit continue, because those are my 4 listings. Now, I have a certain tour kind of flow, though, based on where we have listings showing set up. So I want to go ahead and do my custom sort order. So that way I can put these listings in the order that we're going to see them. So we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to see this one over in the museum area first, because we're actually picking him up right from the airport. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to see the Longboat Key next. The Sarasota Boulevard of Arts next. Then we're going to go out to Longboat Key, which is my subject property, and then we're going to end at Casey Key. So I'm able to change the order of these as I want. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. At this point, I really don't care about the estimated pricing or estimated closing costs, because we're just previewing the properties at this point. You could do something with this if you felt it important. But at this point, I just want to create my buyer tour. I want to create the information that's going to go in my buyer's phone so that as we're on the tour, he can pull those up, in real time and see them. So at this point, I have to add some pages to put that information on that I just pulled. So I'm going to hit add page, add from library. And it's going to give me those same 17 pages you saw earlier. But at this point, all I want is a cover page, the property summary, side-by-side comparisons, and the listing map because I want to show them where they're at. That's it. Those are the only 4 pages that I actually want in this presentation at this point in time. I don't want anything else, except I actually do want to include, and I'm going to send him a buyer's guide as well later. Okay, so this is my presentation. I am done. I'm going to go to home. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, guys. So at this point, I have Al's buyer presentation ready to go. These are the listings that we're going to take Al on when he's in town on Saturday. So I have to send this to him. So I'll go over here to email. I will put in his name. I know he's in there. I know he's in there. I saw him earlier today. All right, well, you'll get the point. He is in there. I may just have his. I may not have his email address. That's kind of funny. All right, well, if I had his email address, obviously that would go in there because I would have his information. I would put in my subject, put in my greeting, put in the message, something like, hey, Al, here are the homes we're going to preview on Saturday when you're in town. This is a great online tool. It has real live information, so if anything gets changed, such as price, before we go to tour the properties, everything will be updated here for you in real time. I would hit send, and what's great is then again, he's going to get a presentation emailed to him that opens up and looks just like this. We have had real life situations of offices and agents in those offices doing these buyer tours and their customers just oohing and awing over everything about this tool and how great it has been for them. So use it and make sure you enjoy the benefits of using it. Okay, next up is going above and beyond at an open house. So you're going to be seeing an open house this weekend. Wouldn't it be great to go ahead and create a presentation for potential buyers? Create it with all the pages, so that way if you go ahead and email it to them later, they're going to have lots of information. Prepared for, you're going to say open house attendees. Hit create. And this weekend, I'm going to send an open house for another agent. And that open house is going to be for this listing. The great thing is because this is directly tied to MLS, it's going to go ahead and pull in all of the information for that listing, which is fantastic. And then I can go ahead and hit continue. And my recommendation would be to pick listings that somebody that's coming to this open house might be interested in knowing about if they came in and they started talking to you, so that you could send them the helpful information about other listings in real time. So imagine you've got all this great data information. You could set min price, max price. You could filter out different types of listings. The great thing with this tool is you can put in as many listings as you want, as few listings as you want. It really truly is up to you. But the benefit is once you have this presentation created, and I'm not going to show you again how to select the listings other than just to say right now those are all selected. What's cool is that once you have this presentation created, which we do now, if someone comes into your open house, you'll have your Moxi Works open. They suddenly say, oh my gosh, I would love to know about more listings just like this one. You could come in here and say, fantastic, I would love to send that to you. Let me go ahead and grab some quick information from you. What's your name? My name is Sam Smith. Great, Sam. What's your email address? My email address is, and I'm just going to use a fake one. Primary email is going to be samsmith@gmailfake.com. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and send you that right now. So what I'm going to do is go back to my present. Go to my open house presentation I created. Hit email. Go ahead and put in Sam Smith. There he is. I write a subject, I write a greeting. I would send this to him. And what's great is now if Sam opens this presentation when he gets home tonight, Engage is going to tell me that he opened it. So it's a really great way to keep in touch with those open house attendees in a very live and in living presentation format. So hopefully that's a little bit of a tool that you can use with Moxi. Okay, we're nearing the end. So last and finally, what I want to show you is how to market your listings using Moxi Works. So Adam doesn't even know this. I do believe he's logged in, but I'm going to use his account today because I don't have listings, obviously, but he does. So I'm going to show you using his account. He's been kind enough to give me access to his temporarily to show you guys this. So inside of Moxi, you have the ability to create flyers, create Facebook accounts, and also create a link so people can subscribe to your neighborhood news without you actually having to put anybody in them. So how do you find all of that? Well, once you're in your Moxi, you're going to come over here to where your picture is in the upper right-hand corner. You're going to click on it. You're going to go to My Account. Once you're in your account settings, and now remember guys, I can only see Adam's because Adam shared his account with me. I can never see any other agent's account. So that's really important to tell you guys. Adam and I were working together on a couple things. So I'll come into my account. If this were Adam, I'm going to pretend like I'm Adam. And I'm going to go ahead and look at my agent tools. One of them is all of my listings that are currently active and pending where I'm the primary agent are going to show up here on my screen. And I can actually do a couple things with these listings. First and foremost, if I was having an open house this weekend, I could create a flyer. These flyers are super easy to create. There are 7 different templates, whether or not you want a portrait or a landscape option. You would choose which one you want, hit select, and the great thing is it's going to pull in data and information automatically from the listing details. So I come in here and put in a title, Awesome New Listing, hit next. The images will go ahead and pull right in from MLS. I select, now at this point I'm going to need 1, 2, 3 photos, so I have to select photos that I want. Spot number 1, select image, hit next. Additional images, hit MLS. Image, select image, next. The description will pull in automatically from MLS. Now you only have 357, or it's total of 357 characters. You're not going to have that many characters, so you are going to have to come in here and clean up some of the content. In listing details, it automatically pulls in any of the available details from MLS. Price, you just want to confirm that it's correct. If there are any programs associated with it, such as an FHA loan program, you would include that. You'll hit view print, and your literally flyer will be ready for you in nanoseconds. All right, so let's see here. My computer is completely frozen. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I'm not going to show you that today because obviously my computer just completely froze on that one, but you get the point. The next thing that you're able to do within your listings is you're also able to create advertisements. When you click on My Advertisements, it's going to allow you to create a Facebook ad. The cool thing is it's going to go ahead and pull in your listings again, making it super easy for you to create a new ad. I'll hit New Ad. I can either advertise my listings or I could also advertise my services. If you sat in on my first overview webinar that Peter and I did, I showed you how to advertise yourself. Today I'm going to show you how to advertise your listings. I would click Advertise Listing. It's going to bring up my active listings that I currently have available. I would select the one that I want and I would hit Start Ad Builder. It's then going to give me the option to either create a Facebook ad for the news feed or create a Facebook ad for the right column. I typically recommend the newsfeed ads, just so you know. So we'll create newsfeed ad. It's going to go ahead and pull in the description automatically. Now, the thing is for the description on Facebook, you actually can only have about 2 lines of text. So you're going to have to make sure that you pull out the most important information to be able to put right here over on the right-hand side. You'll see that it's currently building the ad as we go. Whoopsie. What did I do? Escape, escape, escape. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let me do that real quick again. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I must have touched the wrong button on my computer there. All right, so again, you'll take out the context that you want. You can change the headline. You can actually put in a different location. But the great thing is everything is pulled in for you automatically, and it allows you to do some customization. You can then also choose an image. You can either upload your own or use the one that was automatically pulled in for you. And then you can also change, for instance, the title here or the landing page or where you want them to go. So there's lots of options. There's a great webinar all about this very great tool too. But just know that that option is available for you right here inside of your Moxi Works program. So again, the way you get there is by going to My Account. You go over here to My Advertisements, and everything is ready and waiting for you. Okay, the last tip that I want to show you today is really, really cool. We've been talking a lot about neighborhood news and how important it is to get people to subscribe to it. The idea is that you want to put your customers in it automatically that you put in to engage. But wouldn't it be great if you could just put it onto your Facebook and allow people to do it themselves? Well, you can. So what you want to do is you want to go into your Engage account. And once you're there, what you actually want to do is come over here to your drop down again, and you're going to hit Moxi Engage Preferences. It's going to take you to a preference center. You can do a lot of other things. Go back and look at it. It's pretty insightful and super easy to do. Today, I just want to focus specifically, though, on your subscriptions and setting up what they call a create link for neighborhood news. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, go ahead and create me a link. And here it is. I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to go over to my Facebook account. I'm going to go ahead and do create new, hit paste. Thank you, Adam. You look great there. And I might put in a message, something to the effect of this. Pre-type this to save you guys the pain and agony of watching me type. This will go ahead and post to my Facebook. Anytime somebody would click this engage, it's going to take them, and I'm going to go ahead and post this, and don't worry, Adam, I'll delete it right away. When I click on it, if I were a consumer or a friend or somebody who follows my page, this is the page I would come to. I could register my information. I could sign up, and voila, I would be getting neighborhood news from Adam. So this is a great little tool that you can add to things like Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, or probably not Instagram, because Instagram is all about pictures, but this is a great tool to be able to use in your social media. Okay, I'm going to delete this because my friends are going to be so confused. But that's a great tool to be able to show. So again, just to get there, let me show you just one more time how you do it. You come over here to your within Engage, so you have to be in Engage. You come over here to your drop down, you hit Moxi Engage Preferences. You scroll down to Neighborhood News. You click Create Link under this Sign Up link. It's going to give you a unique URL. You copy that and you paste that to wherever. You could also put it in your email signature. You could put it on your social media. You could put it on a blog post on your agent website. The list goes on and on and on. All right, guys, our time is coming to an end today. If we have questions, I'm going to go ahead and answer those now. So I'm going to go to the chat box. The first question came in at the very beginning from Ralph. If you are a team, is it better to work off only one Moxi platform? Ralph, there is actually going to be a team platform coming very soon. So as of right now, it's really up to you guys as far as how you want to work your business. You can share your platform with each other. As I showed you earlier, you could actually share and log into each other's. So you and Meg could share by just adding to each other's accounts. And if you want, reach out to me and I'll show you how to do that. At this point in time, I'll take any other questions that you guys may have. Okay, the next question is, can we add in our sold listings? So I'm assuming you're asking within the My Account area. What should happen is any listings where you were the primary agent, you're going to be able to come here to off market, and your off market listings would show inside of Moxi already. So I hope that answers your question, Meg. Any other questions? Okay. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining today's conference call. As always, this has been recorded. It'll be up on the intranet, or I'm sorry, on the Moxi homepage very soon. If you have any questions yourselves, please feel free to reach out and ask us. We're happy to help and happy to answer. And we're just really looking forward to seeing your successes on Moxi Works. Please let us know if you have any. We'd love to be able to share them or use them. So keep in touch. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.